Unbelievable. I mean, what a game he had today. Talking the hits, the walk, the deke at home plates, you know, throwing the guy out, stealing. I mean, just phenomenal game by Henry today. It was awesome.
He already has 3 caught stealings. That's more than he's had combined in 2 years. I know he didn't really catch 2 years ago, but maybe makes it even more impressive that he's finding those pockets and succeeding.
Yeah, I mean, what a cannon today, just coming out and hosing Benson at second base there in a big moment, and you know, he works on it. If there anything, those of you that see him every single day, he's out there, you know, hitting early, hitting in the cage, doing all the defensive stuff, throwing, and you know, when he hasn't gotten consistent playing time, so to be able to do that in a big moment like that, to throw the guy out, come up with a big hit there to drive in a run, and then, you know, the deke at home plate, what a play by Tommy and Isaiah to get it in there, and then Henry to finish it off.
After getting roughed up Monday night, how happy are you with the bullpen, what they've been able to do the last 2 days?
Yeah, I mean, really great. They came in, firing strikes. Everybody, you know, came in, getting ahead, and filled their roles really, really well there. And you know, hats off to them. They've done a great job. And really, you know, I know that Monday night had some, you know, tough moments there in that game. It kind of got out of hand a little bit, but playing solid baseball the last 2 and to get a series win against that team is really good.
I know all of your starters that you've had the last 4 days, they're different people, they're different approaches and all that, but what has been the commonality for success between those guys?
Man, you know what, just throwing strikes and getting ahead, and I think that we saw today, Heaney a little bit at the beginning was, and maybe not necessarily not throwing strikes, he just didn't get ahead right away, and they had some Steer had a long at bat there that drove his pitch count up and then ended up getting a base hit. I think that when you look at those types of at-bats, that can take it out of you. And for him to be able to stay in there and then finish the 4th and 5th as strong as he did, you know, put the team in a position to win and put himself in a position to win, that's what veteran pitchers do.
We ask hitters all the time within the lineup if good or bad hitting is contagious, is good starting pitching contagious, or is that too random from day to day?
No, I think it is, you know, and when you see the guy going out the night before, dominating, doing well, and they feed off of each other, and I think hitting is too. I mean, shoot, you look at today, putting up 3 runs, but I think it was the 5th inning that we had Reynolds, Horwitz, and Canario all hit the ball pretty much to the wall and, you know, crushed it, and we had nothing to show for it there. So, you know, guys are having good at-bats, they're hitting the ball hard. We came up with a big run there. Cabrian gets the double, and Frazier with a big hit to drive him in for an insurance run was really big.
Donnie, does it say something about the mental toughness of your starting staff and knowing the struggles the team's going through offensively right now? You guys are still, in most of these games, the unit is competitive almost down to the end.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the starting staff, the defense has been really, really good, and the bullpen too. You know, coming in, keeping us in games. I mean, looking back to that game in New York where Shug came in the 4th inning, bases loaded, 1 pitch, got out of it. And it's different moments throughout games. Sometimes that leverage has been earlier in the game, but finding ways, the starting pitching has been great, and the bullpen has stepped up and held them in check.
In the 2nd inning, I saw Cruz's strikeout. I think you wanted to chirp a little bit, but I saw Gene maybe bring you back. What do you say to you there?
Yeah, you know, I really wasn't chirping there. I was going to go out because I wanted to protect O'Neill. I wanted to make sure that he wasn't, and it's tough to tell from the dugout in and out. You know, sometimes up and down, you can tell a little bit, and really wasn't chirping. And I don't know if somebody was. It might have been from the stands, and he turned over and looked in the dugout, and I was just going out there to protect O'Neill from, you know, anything that might happen. We need him in the game.
Did Gene say anything to you to bring you back?
He said it. He's okay. He's okay.
Donnie, obviously you've been around this team for a couple of years, but have you noticed any change in resiliency or anything that they've showed you, especially these last couple of games?
Yeah, no doubt. Coming back after that tough game on Monday night in the way that we played the last 2 nights, obviously we talked about the starting pitching is key to that, but finding ways to scratch out runs, and Brian had a huge hit last night. You know, today being able to push 3 across with some big hits, and you know, want to keep that going.
That stretch you mentioned we had the 3 outfielders, the 3 hits of the outfielders were twisting around and diving, and you know, you drove them to the warning track. At that point, are you throwing your hands up and saying, what do we need to catch a break, or is it more along the lines of at least maybe some guys are fine?
Yeah, stay with it. You know, they're working hard. They're doing the things we talked about the other day pregame. Working hard in the cage, out in the field, the things they need to do. Found barrels today. Keep on doing that. You're going to find success.
Jared Jones underwent surgery today. I guess, bad case scenario that you lost him for the rest of the season, maybe better case that he didn't have Tommy John surgery, it looks like, that he's not out for 14 to 16, but rather 10 to 12 months?
Yeah, really tough. Losing him obviously for this year, but you feel for him going through it and the UCL repair, and sounds like from what Todd said, 10 to 12 months maybe. And I know that he's going to dominate his rehab, and I haven't got to talk to him yet, but I will this evening. And he's a worker too, so looking forward to having him back whenever he's healthy.
How much of a blow is it to the staff, though? I mean, you kind of were expecting him back after the All-Star break, and to know he's done for the rest of the year.
It is. I mean, but that's baseball going through it, and you find it's the next man up and finding a way to continue to roll on and compete. And like we've talked about, our guys have done a good job of that. Battling through. They know the offense hasn't been where we're gonna be, but they're not putting pressure. They're going out there and do what they need to do, and dealing with injuries is no different. Just finding a way to dominate your starts. Obviously, Jared means a lot to all of us, the whole team and organization. But just know that he's gonna be working hard, and he's gonna be back next year.
And also the decision that went into sending Carmen down, bringing Mike Burrows up.
Yeah, Carmen just working on a little bit of consistency. He's gonna go down and start in Indy. Looking forward to him being down there and continuing to work on that. And Burrows has earned an opportunity to come up and start up here. His momentum's been really good, and looking forward to seeing him out there.